possible. Let's hope our beloved employers can deliver on their promises. Their famous ritual thing doesn't pan out. We're gonna be left standing here with our asses in our hands. Bunch of chatty priests playing sorcerer's apprentice against 7 immortal mages? Sounds great. Anyhow, we have to fight fire with fire. So they say. Damn it. They're already here. I better warn the others.
Your Majesty,
enjoy your
I'm not sure what to say after receiving such news. The darkness that is coming. People won't understand what it means. Nobody could, without living through it first. We need to prepare. If we can't stop the attack from happening, we have to be ready when it comes.
So,
having Logan's troops on our side is a good start.
The Deadwalkers are already close.
But you will need to raise a fortune to pay for the army we'll need. Hobson will show you the treasury, and I'm sure he can explain just how to do it. Indeed I can.
I didn't want to
Then I will
alert
leave
the
you
others
to
before
it.
we were ready for them.
Ben and I will begin recruiting and training soldiers
you
at
wouldn't have
once.
been able to alert us before they were ready to attack us. Think for a second.
How I have looked forward to this.
We have to get ready. Now that you've finally got your ass back over here, you can prepare some traps.
This is it. Albion's
Get Peeler to help you
royal
place them around the temple.
a store
Give us
of
some
the
time.
kingdoms to
Hear them coming.
Yes, sir, Captain.
And if you have questions, you know where to find me.
It's, well, not as, repeat as one would like, but just imagine this room shimmering
Okay, Captain.
with hills, valleys, and plateaus of gold. A topography of riches going all the way up to the ceiling. It will require nothing less to build this army everyone is talking about. Which brings us to the second item on today's agenda, and one I'm personally very excited about. Setting the tax rate for the coming year. As you probably know, your brother was taxing the people rather heavily, and some say that this has led to poverty, starvation, and other societal ills. You have 3 clear choices, Your Majesty. 1, lower the tax rate, which one could argue would help the poor and the hungry, but would also leave the treasury
That should do it.
stable.
I'll give all these to Peeler.
2,
Figure it out.
maintain Logan's policies. Not a popular with the people, but moderately popular with the treasury. And 3, and don't let my enthusiasm influence you in any way.
The power is
Raise the tax. Very well, Your Majesty. Well, how very noble. Yes, I suppose noble is the word. How very noble of you. The people are no doubt dancing in the streets. And we Oh, Blanca.
Hey, Peeler,
You need to
give me
be
a hand,
more
will you?
ruthless
We've
if
got to
you wish
prepare
to
the
save
area
the
before it
kingdom,
gets
Your Majesty.
overwhelmed with walking
There are
corpses.
other, less
We need a little
salubrious
something to
means
welcome
of
our dead
filling the
walkers,
treasury,
friends.
of course. You may
Booby
donate
trap all
your
the
own
access
gold,
points.
should you have enough.
Try not to blow yourself up.
Though I must say,
Don't sweat it, I can handle it.
I'm not kidding.
However you decide to
You lose an
proceed,
arm, I'm
you should
the one
acquaint
who gives
yourself
shit
with
about
the
it.
Royal Ledger. It is a logbook that allows the reigning monarch to make deposits and withdrawals from the treasury. A most useful financial tool. But my, look at the time. You really ought to attend to the next item on today's agenda.
The hobblers are here! Now!
Drive them back! We must hold the
Wheeler
enemy.
has a most intriguing proposal for you in Bowerstone Industries. Now, I know you're back with the forces, but it is time to put those behind you and work together. Nobody can raise money like Weaver can, I assure you. I have seen to it that your appearance among the populace is well publicized. So expect a crowd.
Oh, shite. Here come more of them.
And that's for spawnage, which is available after his cutscene. Oh, okay. Oh, I need to put 6,500.
I still get tingles remembering.
Fall back! Everybody to the temple, now!
I am to assist you in filling your coffers till they are fit to burst. What better way to begin your reign than by reinstating one of my most successful policies? There is no greater waste than the idleness of our citizens, but my employment scheme guarantees children of all ages will have something to occupy, whilst ensuring our factories are properly manned.
It's just monstrous. Don't listen to this. You promised to end our labor. Remember that promise now.
But what would you have to do with it?
The only way round them is to carry out instructions right. Nothing is more important to our future than that. Turn this nation into a machine. Give the children of the city the chance they never had.
Well, if you'd like to know who's the author upon it, then by all means, listen to her. Reaver
You go see how Buffalo's getting along with the scribes. He's meant to be guarding their invoking chamber.
Thank you.
Huh? But can't
You
we...
really start
Go
choosing
find
people
Taylor for
like
me
that.
while you're gone.
This will be an Albion worth fighting for.
I shall begin the necessary modification.
Right.
At once.
You coming or what?
Welcome to Reaver Industries Learning Center, Firestone Industrial first ever state. You are now able to learn the knowledge of your children and become the well-educated scholars you always wanted.
How does it feel to be queen now?
Yay, teachers. Kids being happy. Marie the student instead of Marie the child worker. Yay! This is the cutest way to go through the game.
Looking good.
Oh, now it looks like I can pause it. Do you a favor and mute it. Yeah. Pause this. Oh. Sorry you're having a really rough day. Eric's back. I'm surprised you
Is everything okay, Buffalo?
As long as I can hear them moan.
That's good news. Got any idea?
I think I saw him over on the east.
Thanks. And, you might want to check inside the invoking.
Well, you're really nice to be thinking that, because I guess it's over now, right?
Oh, come on. Shut up. Oh, stupid cat.
I need some help here. There's too many of them, and I got this stupid scribe under my feet.
You, Scribe! Get back in the chamber with the others. Can't protect you if you keep wandering around.
I need some help here. There's too many of them, and I got this stupid scribe under my feet.
You, Scribe! Get back in the chamber with the others. We can't protect you if you keep wandering around.
Hey, thanks. Without you, I'm pretty sure that jerk would have gotten me killed.
No shit. Next time be more careful, okay? I talked with the captain. He wants to see you.
Oh, shit.
When were they broken into? Holy crap, Vanessa. Yeah, that would make me feel nervous too. Yeah. I don't blame you. Mhm. Yeah. Right. Well, it's good you have ghosts there with you. It's always good to have a dog around in that situation. Well, in that situation, Caesar Milan says you hide behind your dog and, make it obvious to your dog that you're scared and he'll protect you, most likely. No, that's okay. That's okay. I just don't remember whether I ever told you about the pallet guy, so that's why that was confusing. Like I said, we were looking for a job while we were working at Duty Free because we wanted a better paying job. And we had this interview with this pallet guy. He makes pallets and stuff. Apparently he was a super crazy, he was one of those crazy Christian people. And he, first day, Jesus had to prove he was able to work before he hired him. He made that mistake first by discriminating Jesus. He was like, oh, I don't know if you can handle it or whatever, we'll have to give it a trial or something. You don't ever make somebody work before you hire them. But he did that, and he was like, okay, whatever. And anyway, the next day, I was like, well, maybe I'll try to get an interview with this person. And he had his Bible out while he was talking to me, and he had me read a Bible verse. And then he told me about what do I see when I see a man such as him. And I'm simplifying all this, trust me, it was terrible. And I was like, I don't, just listen, I'm gonna get to that. So anyway, he asked me, what do I see when I see a man? And I was like, I don't know, He's like, well, what do I see when I see it? Oh, he was like, oh, a provider. And he's like, well, what do I see when I see a woman, And, take care of the house, blah, 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 whatever. And then he was saying, oh, man, it was so creepy. He said something to I don't remember how we got on this topic, but he was saying how he turned his life around and blah, blah, blah. He's about to get married. And, she's a pretty woman. She's nothing like you, of course, but she's pretty. And it was just so, so, so uncomfortable, the whole thing. And I could not wait to get out of there. So we get out of there, and I'm talking to Jesus, and I'm like, oh my God, all this happened, blah, blah, blah. He's like, yeah, it's fucked up. The whole thing about the Bible. He asked me what my religion was. He was like, do you believe in Jesus Christ or whatever? Because I can't I can't employ people who don't believe in Jesus Christ. And oh my God, it was terrible. And anyway, so Jesus opened up a complaint with the EEOC, which is employment something, blah, 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 equal employment something committee, or I don't fucking remember. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission or something like that. And then because he's such a small business, they had to transfer the case to, what was the thing called? North Dakota's thing. And anyway, so then they were contacted about it. It was still in process, and then he wanted to try and get a settlement because he knew he screwed up, right? And we were like, no, you're not going to get a settlement. All the while, my aunt had called me to tell me that man, because it is a small town, she says that man said that, oh, the reason why Jesus didn't come back is because I found out he was a meth head. And you know what, yeah, I know. And I was like, just because he's skinny, he's not a fucking meth head. Like, that's the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard in my life. And he was going around telling people that we were, like, into drugs or something, or namely Jesus, and that's why. And so he's decimating our character around town. So anyway, we deny him his little thing to settle, because no amount of money is going to make me not want him to get the justice that he deserves. So they're in the process of assigning investigators to investigate him. Meanwhile, the town, he's been spreading around the town that we're not Christian and we cause problems, and they shouldn't hire us. And so it makes sense, because Enduraplas has been dicking us around for forever, and they're owned by the Brethren, which is the religious cult in this town. And they won't give us the time of day, regardless of, we have better skills than some of the people around here. I know how to drive a forklift. Jesus has factory work experience on top of his maintenance experience. And we've been in there, we've tried to contact them, they don't return our calls. We've physically been inside there, and we were curious, like, why, is it like this? Come to find out from Aunt Lori, they just hired 2 new people at Enduraplas. So that was one of the things she told me. She lives in Leroy, which is a town very close to Nitchie, and she knows a whole lot of people that live in Nitchie, including, like, Stuart Simonton and, just other people. Like, they're all interconnected, they all know each other. Aunt Lori Johnson, that lives here, my other aunt. But anyway, so that's basically the story with that. So we're recognized as non-Christian, whatever, and he's continuing to decimate our name in this town. What kind of lawsuit will we have now?
There's no law firms around here.
Well, I definitely want to. Well, I know that's definitely a great idea, and I think I'm going to do that. But the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to ask for sources through the organization that's helping us with the case to begin with, and give them this new information, because I want to, because there's no lawyers like nearby. Like, my disability lawyer is in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Like, there's not. So we probably have to get something like that involved. So,
Concentrate. We almost have
anyway, so that's what's gonna end up happening. But crazy, right? On top of all the other shit we're dealing with, we have to deal with this stupid crap too.
Shit, here come the haulers.
Because houses are cheap, jobs pay well. But we never expected any of this bullshit to happen, that's for sure.
You gonna be alright? I'm fine. Worry about those dead walls.
So, anyway. That's the gist of it.
Got it, Sergeant. I'll be ready.
Need her for right now. Distance must. I know, right? See, you're thinking exactly like I'm thinking. Jesus was all like, blah, 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 tell her she's a bitch or whatever, which is true, she is. And I agree with you as well. But at the same time, I agree, because she can only hurt me worse. And maybe not tell me things that I want to know. So, distancing myself slowly is better. That or knowing that I hate your guts now. Right?
Stay away from my daughter!
No. Trust me, we talk about it all the time. We're like, damn. Well, me anyway, I'm like, shit, I wish we could just, like, get the fuck out of here and move to Colorado or some shit, start over, get away from all my family and all that. See, I have a separate thing, too. My Aunt Lori, she went behind my back and told Pam, you know, Dad's woman that he married after my mom, the one we've had a really fucking weird relationship. She's so selfish, and my dad lied to her so much about me and tried to avoid me. Well, apparently, I hung out with Pam once. Like, I don't remember. It was like in the spring, kind of, and we were just trying to get along, talk or whatever. I ended up telling her a little bit of things, how Katie's doing, why she hasn't been able to get a hold of Katie. Telling how I did. She did my hair for cheap. Remember me telling you that? Well, anyway, I had a decent time with her. She told me some stuff I didn't really care to know, like about what my dad looked like when he was dead and everything, which, that hurt me and it was kind of selfish of her. But, that wasn't the worst thing. She told me that my sister had, talked so much shit about me while she was there, and that they all believed that I was, lying about my sister. And, anyway, so that made me really upset. So I told Aunt Lori about it, and I said, it makes me feel like my dad has hated me until he died because of what my sister said. And she took that as I said that Pam told me that. And I didn't say that Pam told me my dad hated me. I did not say that, but that's what she took from it. So she went behind my back, and she called Pam and told Pam that, oh, Sarah says that you told her that her dad hated her. That's fucked up. And so Pam hasn't spoken to me in months. I never knew why. Just like last week, I find out about this because I was confiding in Aunt Lori. I called her and I told her, hey, I haven't talked in a while. We're gonna go on disability. I'm gonna deal with my anxiety once and for all. I mean, that's kind of why I haven't been around and stuff. It's debilitating for me. We lost our jobs. I confided in her, and then she's like, oh my God, Sarah. She's not understanding, and she thinks like, oh well, you just gotta get your shit together. Blah blah blah. And then she goes on to say, you know what? And by the way, you lied to me. And I'm like, excuse me? I lied to you about what? And we start yelling at each other. And she's like, well, you told me that Pam said that your dad hated you. And I'm like, no, that is not what I said to you. That is not what I told you. And she was like, yes, it is. And we argued and argued, and she conceded, and she was like, okay, well, maybe I misunderstood you, blah, blah, sorry, whatever. And I was like, well, it makes sense now that Pam's been ignoring me, and, all this. So then I was like, well, I'm going to have to, she was like, do you want me to call Pam? And I'm like, no, I'm going to have to handle this, because how would it look like if I'm not going to call Pam? So I called Pam, and I was like, hey, so I wanted to talk to you about something specific. Aunt Lori told me that she had said to you that I said, etc. And that's not true. She misunderstood me. I hope you understand. I meant it in the fact, see, I told her, I explained to her, I'm always down on myself, man. So the way I took it from the things that you told me about what my sister said is that my dad didn't care for me. He didn't, you know, he hated me before he died. I was being melodramatic. I was being down on myself. And she took that as you said it, but that's not what I said, you know? And she seemed to understand and everything. And then she says, you know, you know, she said that she was told you, she was going to tell you about it that night, that she was going to yell at you right then and tell you about it, like, you know, right then or whatever. And I was like, well, wow, okay, well, I just found out about it tonight. You know, apparently this happened months ago, and I was just finding out about it. And so then the next time I talked to Aunt Lori, I briefly bring up, I was like, you know, why didn't you tell me until that night? Like, why didn't you tell me much earlier? And she was like, oh, well, I just didn't have the courage to do it until right then. I was like, oh, okay. So now I feel like I can't trust her anymore. And she was like the person I confided in most over here, my linked family over here. I felt like she understood me. I felt like I could tell her things. I mean, she's an aunt. She's like 50-something. I thought, you know, she's just I've never seen the side of her before where she could do that much damage. And she swears she didn't mean to, I guess. But she didn't really say that, but I could tell that maybe she regretted it. But still, like, how the fuck would you screw me over that bad? Like, I already had a shitty relationship with Pam. All I wanted was my dad's drum set. How am I even going to ask about that anymore? It's been, like, 2 years now. I don't think she was purposely trying to screw me over either, but she should have told me right away that she had done that. So I knew, so I could say something then, instead of letting it stew for months. And Pam was telling me about her and Madison saying what a horrible person I am, what a shithead I am, how I could make something like that up. Like, that's how they viewed me as my dad, that I'm a liar, because I called out my dad on his shit and he was trying to cover up all the time. And Aunt Lori had also told me before, it's like, you know what, when you were living in Minot, yes, and you invited your dad to come over all the time, Pam would say to your dad, hey, we're not doing anything this weekend. Do you want to spend the weekend with Sarah in Minot? And my dad would always say no. I never knew that. I always thought it was her. Can you believe that? I always thought it was her. I had asked him countless times if he wanted to come over. I wanted to spend more time with him. I really wanted him to come over there. It's not like we were that far away when I was living there. He never wanted to come. He was like, no, that wouldn't work out because of Pam, blah, blah, blah. I mean, how am I supposed to feel about that? He wanted to cover up his shit so much that he didn't want to come see me. Well, yeah, nobody can speak for him now because he's dead. Fuck did he do this shit? Selfish to the end, you know? It hurts so much. I just can't even let myself feel it completely right now. It just sucks. Why couldn't I have had a normal dad is what I keep thinking. It's just shitty. Pisses me off more than anything. I'm not even gonna cry. I'm not even gonna cry. I could cry, but I'm not gonna do it. It's better just to feel the anger right now. It's just so wrong. It was all so fucked up and so complicated. Pieces of shit, you know?
Fucking cats, stop getting this shit, man. I'm sick of those cats.
did well to hide his past. He made Pam hate my mom to this day. My mom still can't look at my mom, wouldn't talk to her. Like, the way my mom was treated at my dad's funeral and the memorial service was not right. She couldn't sit in the front with us. She was not considered his wife. And they were married for 16 years. Pam and my dad were married for 1 year. And my dad, you know, Pam never knew my dad and his service. She was not the woman waiting for him for 8 months to a year or more, like my mom was. She was not the woman who dealt with his 25 years in the Navy. My mom was. And guess who they handed the flag to? Guess who they handed the flag to and said, ma'am, you know, your husband, thank you for his service. You know, you should feel proud to have this. They handed the flag to Pam. They handed it to her. She was not a part of that. She had no right to accept that. She had no right. And I don't know why that bothers me so much, but the fact that all the shit my mom had to put up with from my dad, and all the times he was away when shit was wrong, my mom dealing with her epilepsy, me dealing with my, you know, abuse in my family and stuff. My dad was not there for that. He was gone. And my mom suffered through that shit. And I feel like she deserved that flag. That was about her and our life together. And none of our life was mentioned at the memorial service or at the funeral, save for me. I stood up in the memorial service. They asked if anyone had anything to say. And I made sure they knew that my dad was stationed in the Navy in Virginia. Me, my mom, my sister, my dad, we were in Virginia. That's where we grew up. He was in a band called the Killer Lilies in the 90s. We were together during all that time before he came here. Most of y'all probably didn't even know that. That's what I made sure I got out at the memorial service. They need to know that his life was not represented there. Not his whole life. Because it was all about Pam. It was all about her. It wasn't about her pain. It wasn't about our pain. Her daughter approached me before the memorial service began. Or not approached me, we ran into each other outside the bathroom. She'd been ignoring me the whole time before then. And first thing she says to me before I can open my mouth, no, I said hi, that's what I did. I said, hi, Madison. And she says, you know, your dad lived with us for almost 8 years. I just wanted you to know that.
How did I do that? Hey, Captain.
It shocked me, because I thought in my head, well, my dad, I knew him for 27 years. He raised me until I was almost, no, where was I? Almost 15, almost 16 or whatever. That's, I mean,
that sounds fun.
It was horrible.
Did anybody see what I just did to that huge fucking monster? I mean, seriously, I fried that
After I said my piece about Dad, Pam said, what made you want to go up there and say that? And I said, well, I felt like I wouldn't have another chance. And mid-sentence, she cuts me off and she goes, okay. And then she turns around to talk to somebody else. That's how they feel about our pain. That's how much we meant to my dad. We're just a nuisance. Meanwhile, she has all my dad's things, all his memories. And we have nothing. She raised all that money for herself and her family and their tragedy. And she didn't, and you know what, I don't even care about that, but I care about the fact that we were not important. We were made to seem not important. And you know what, when it comes down to it, it was my dad's fault it was that way. But Pam is still a selfish bitch. And there's nothing I can do to change that, so crying now won't make a difference. I just feel so fucking angry all over again. This is the kind of shit I need to work through before I can move forward and go forward with my life. There's nothing that I want more than to be completely rehabilitated and leave this shit behind me, and maybe this whole freaking state behind me, and start my own life and just leave it all behind.
I had no choice.
If I ever get that opportunity, that's what I'm gonna do.
Hast thou even thought of choosing?
Just a bunch of bad memories, and I'll take Jesus with me.
A shadow of myself, trapped here in this dark prison.
I did not create this situation. I am not even sure I understand what has happened.
That is the shortest, nicest response you've ever said.
Thou must act. It is I who will
She goes, I agree.
Thine fault. I who will face extinction. And if I must die, if the flame is extinguished, our world will die as well.
I will not let the flame die. I am in a war against these necromancers.
No, you're
and
right.
At last, I have the power to fight them.
What dost thou?
Yeah, and he was really funny. Do you remember him very well when we were growing up?
Useless to us.
What do you remember? I want to know what you remember, good and bad. Because I have trouble with old memories.
Must not be stolen from thee. We must reconquer the world heart as swiftly as we may.
Hey, Vulcan, enough of your daydreaming. Move your ass, huh?
Buffalo?
Vulcan!
Yeah, I hear you. My head feels like a bomb went off in it.
Well, shake it off. We're still not at the end of this stinking swamp, and I'm not gonna carry you all the way to the village.
By the way, how come Hawk isn't the one here with me? He's the lead scout. I always go with him.
Hawk is covering the back of the line, so this time, I'm the one who goes with you. You'll get over it.
Why do I get the feeling I'm under surveillance?
You think nobody noticed your little stunt at the temple? Damn right we're watching you. Now shut your trap and keep an eye on our perimeter, while I keep an eye on you.
And while the captain has a nice chat about me with the Red Scribes.
It'll be a lot easier to talk to those two-faced snakes without you hanging around. Don't worry about it. He'll tell you what you need to know. And if he doesn't tell you, then I will.
Thanks, Sarge.
Let's get moving before everybody catches up.
You lot are about as discreet as a herd of hunchbacks.
I thought that elves were supposed to have superior eyesight. Do we look like stiffs to you, dickhead?
Not yet. But with an arrow sticking out of your throat, I'm certain that even a chatterbox like you could do a passable impression.
And you'd be the next one down.
Possibly. Perhaps I should aim for the largest target first.
Not if you want to keep both your balls.
What have we here? Buffalo in person. Well, that's a good sign.
What's going on here? Who's the scrag with the pointy ears?
Thanks for noticing. I try to keep them sharp. I'm called Relmar, and I gather the red-faced fat belly with the filthy beard is none other than the famous Elric, leader of the Freeborn Blades.
They call me the Captain.
All the Freeborn Blades call you Captain Elric. I have no doubt that they do. As for me, I've never had much interest in titles or in military protocol. I judge people by their deeds.
His rank was granted in the field. You seem like you know enough about the Freeborn Blades to know what that means.
I have enough knowledge of your history to know that your leader has made a name for himself. So, yes, call him what you will. The fact that he is your captain concerns only you and those availing themselves of your services.
That's enough. We're not going to stand here bullshitting all night. Just what the fuck are you doing here, Relmar, you horse-tongued bastard?
Looking for you. Well, I began by searching for the Red Scribes. Prince Arundel is wounded. We had to withdraw to Valvanor, where I learned that you were expected. I just wanted to make sure you found your way there.
This is not my first walk in the wilds, arsewipe. As you can see, I'm on the right path, and we've nearly reached our destination.
Captain, those creatures I told you about this morning are gathering nearby. They're probably getting ready to attack us.
Ah, well those are called chrysalids. They wait until they have gathered enough numbers, and then they overwhelm you. And it would seem your little group is attracting a whole swarm to the village.
Well, we'll give them a welcome.
Actually, in spite of themselves, these creatures do an excellent job of keeping Dead Walker scouts away without raising any suspicions. If we allow them to gather here and then massacre them, I fear we'll be moving their territory a bit too close to Valvanor, which will lead to our being discovered sooner or later. I suggest we send 1 or 2 men back. This will keep them separated and occupied while the rest make it to the village. I'm ready to volunteer, if you fear I might try and slip away. I know the area well.
Sounds like a plan to me. Vulcan, you're on it.
I want to go too. The animals and plants in this swamp are extraordinary. And the venom of these chrysalids seems very interesting. I'd love to get a chance to observe them more closely.
Sybil, that is out of the question. Have you lost your mind? It's too dangerous.
This is brave of you, little girl. And I'm sure you fight well. But on this little walkabout, you'd better let somebody who knows the area well lead the way. Hey, Relmar, if you're feeling up to facing a few bug-eyed freaks, let's get going.
By all means. Don't forget, I'm the one with the pointy ears.
All right, we'll see you in the village. No dicking around, Vulcan.
No dicking around, Captain. Relmar, you got a minute?
Yes?
We need to adjust your combat style.
What would you like me to do?
I'd like you to take more risks. Take the offensive.
Brilliant. Just waiting for you to give the word.
Not this way. I'm not going back to that temple.
Behind us.
Kinda.
Several creatures. Chrysalids for the most part. Let's try to avoid attracting their attention.
Let's keep going. We're almost there.
Hey, this guy's fucking fearless. Let's help him out before it goes bad for him.
Despite his determination, the knight was in an awkward position. He thanks the mercenary for having assisted him in his task. If he can trust the rumors that he hears around the village, he has before him one called Falcon. He has the pleasure of welcoming the mercenary to the village.
And you are?
The knight is called Ranthal, last survivor of the Order of the Ember Knights, and now protector of Valvenor, this village. The new arrival is most welcome, but the steward is waiting in the old village inn. This is Valvenor. It is not a beautiful place, but for the time being, it seems to be unknown to the Deadwalker army. This village has known better days. Before the war, it was popular among the rich hunters who came to enjoy the ample game in the swamps. Today, the only visitors are refugees, who are sadly too numerous for the scant resources of the village. A small healing house provides comfort and succor to the injured. The knight is quite fond of Mirana, the healer who runs the place. Does the mercenary see the building opposite? It was once an inn, but it is now the residence of the steward, the man now in charge of the village.
The inn was used as a hunting lodge before the war began. Many rich people used to come here to relax.
With any luck, we might get to sleep in a real bed tonight. I'm going.
It's on account of that Nigella, ain't it?
A good day to you, soldier. I do believe that today is your lucky day.
Really? Well then, what are you gonna try to sell me?
Sell?
Oh, now you're trying to make me feel bad. No, unfortunately I have nothing left to sell.
Information?
Hey, you know what? Some kind of reward.
Here.
Apparently, the Red Scribes have found a way to win the war.
I don't believe it. You took my money.
I swear.
I'll let it slide this time. But don't you ever try to rip me off again unless you... I wanted to... Have you? The Howard? Right.
Oh there, Powder Woman. You still didn't manage to blow yourself up?
Pretty quieter.
Yeah. Do you really imagine the Deadwalkers are going to forget about this place just because this swamp is dangerous?
No, but it'll slow them down, and maybe we'll see them coming.
Ha! You can bet. There's something in the air that stinks, and I don't mean the locals either.
Pretty quiet around here.
Yeah. Do you really imagine the Deadwalkers are going to forget about this?
No, but it'll...
Ha! You can bet. There's something in the air that stinks, and I don't mean the locals either. I feel like the...
Pretty quiet.
Yeah. Do you really...
No.
There's some...
See you later.
My goodness, let's see. And now you'll excuse me, but I have other miracles.
Take it easy.
You could be Blackstorm himself.
Yeah, who are you? One of them?
Fucking mercenary, yeah.
You know what I call your lot? Orblade.
Maybe if you were to do something about your bad...
Go fucker.
Can I do something?
No, thank you.
I need your help. I'll be going now.
The swamp is our best defense. Happily, the wildlife are just as keen on attacking the deadwalkers as they are the villagers. But the situation here in Valvanor grows worse daily. And each new wave of refugees increases the risk of drawing unwanted attention to this jungle.
No Ice Lord scouts who find this village will ever escape to tell the tale. Of that, I can assure you. Also, my men are reinforcing your defenses. Forgive me for saying, but you have some serious weak points. Especially the defenses around that refugee camp of yours.
The arrival of the Freeborn Blades and the Red Scribes has greatly improved our chances of survival, Captain. Believe me when I say that we are most grateful to have you with us. Needless to say, your men and the Red Scribes are welcome and free to go where they will. But as for any other newcomers, our gates are closed. You must understand that our food stores are as limited as our abilities to defend our village. Until you arrived, we had but one person who was even vaguely capable of treating our injured, and the case of Prince Orendil was completely beyond her skills. And there is this beast story, doubtless another fairy tale, the fruit of an alcohol-addled brain. Nonetheless, several of the Watch have gone missing. Something hidden in these swamps is causing these disappearances, but we cannot risk sacrificing any more of the few men remaining to us on sending patrols. Large groups entail moving chrysalids that are unmanageable. The others quite simply do not return.
Silence.
If I were to listen to everyone, I would need 10 times the number of men I have to verify the truth of every tale.
Enough! You must aid me to do this. I am not able to do that. Your endless wailings are unbearable.
In the name of Vulcan?
But by the gods, man, what is...
This world is condemned. The cold hath invaded its ground, its souls, and its heart. Yet here you stand, waving your limbs like fish taken from the water. Miserably shuffling about to conserve the illusion of warmth and life, and not feel the passing of your last breath, while I must endure your wailings and lamentations.
Vulcan, stop this nonsense immediately.
It is not she who speaks.
All doth fall to ruin about you, yet you still bewail your loose bowels and vomitings. You cannot vanquish your dead walkers, no more than you can vanquish their necromancer masters. They draw their power from the very heart of the world. They drink it, they suckle it dry. Your only chance to cleanse what your own hath corrupted is to go to the world heart and liberate it from its servitude.
The World Heart is a myth, a forgotten fairy tale, no more real than dragons or dwarves.
A myth? Continue hiding behind thy puny barricades, and thou wilt soon join thy myths and fairy tales.
Cease your pretense. I know you have returned to consciousness.
What the hell happened? I was just listening to the steward blabbing away with the captain, and then...
And then you lost control.
I don't know. It's like something in my head zapped me so it could use my mouth. But I was still there, still thinking what I was saying.
This is not the first time you have felt this presence manifest itself.
No. It's been there since the temple. It's also in my dreams, I think.
Interesting. It would seem that your body is host to some other entity. And it is clearly a spirit of fire.
No kidding. I've got a demon in my head.
Something of the kind. In truth, I could not say what it is. Not yet, at least.
Don't make me laugh. After all, it's you and your disciples that let this thing out of its cage, right?
That has nothing to do with it. Do you have any idea of the implications of this incident?
If it happens again a couple of days from now, they'll all start spitting and throwing rocks at me. I guess I'll have to watch out.
I fear that is the least of your worries. Obviously, you haven't understood. The thing that is inside you, it wishes you ill. There is not enough space inside you for two souls. That demon wants your body. It will control you more and more until it has replaced you completely.
Ha! Thou thinkest I crave the body of a mortal? I am a prisoner here. My place is in the world heart.
It will not hesitate to lie to you, to tell you that which you wish to hear, so that you will allow it to consume you.
I never asked for this cage. I never asked to be forced to hear thy every thought. It is I who have been invaded.
It speaks to you. Do not listen to it. Cast it from you. If you do not resist, it will crush your soul.
Hey, take it easy. One at a time, huh? I'm gonna go take a walk.
Miss Vulcan.
The cap...
With our shortages, sadly...
Maybe I'll... I need the...
I fear I'm... All I know...
It might be...
That is... Now...
We'll talk again.
The Order of the Freeborn Blades is of great repute, and the mercenary does honor to its name. The mercenary's powers are both astonishing.
Sure. I never turned down a good fight. But maybe we should take it outside. We don't want to break everything in here, do we?
The knight is honored, and bows to his adversary's wisdom.
Relmar, wait for me here. I'll be a moment.
It hopes that his adversary will not hold back her blows.
Oh, you can count on it.
that's all, folks.